Alright, so CNN saying why the dollar has emerged once again as a currency of choice. This will be on the right panel of this description as well. I think that's hilarious. They never really want to teach you exactly how things work, but that's for a reason. Um, it's emerged as the currency of choice because everyone else is doing so bad because they're pegged on the dollar, and we're doing bad. So everyone else is suffering even harder because of the way that everything has been set up. I think, in terms of this catalyst, which again I've said it a number of times, but I'm not ready to get into that discussion just yet in this video because I have a number of things that I want to cover, is one of the first things that you should watch for is for the extreme destabilization of the European Union, as you're starting to see now. Once that starts to fall, and when and if China stops buying government bonds, and we have nowhere else to borrow or print or whatever, these federal bailouts, this welfare, this act of destroying the U.S. dollar, that's when the catalyst will begin, and you will then know that hyperinflation is coming. Well, it's already coming, but it'll be right around the corner, which it already is. But that's when you should start ringing bells. And if you haven't stocked up on food, because things are going to skyrocket, if you haven't stocked up on guns and ammo for your protection, it's pretty serious stuff right there. You should do that now, because right now we're kind of in a period where we have a little bit of time, but then again, we don't have any time. So do that now. Educate yourself and spread the word and prepare yourself. Let's see. Alright. It's funny because going forward on my little list, I had an epiphany this week. We're repeating history. They have looked back in history and they have seen how things have happened, and we are now repeating history. But they've seen their last mistakes and they've put them all together. And for example, the Great Depression, Roosevelt was basically Bush. He set up this whole mess. It turned sour. It was bad. There was a real estate boom then, and burst or whatever the case. And then Herbert Hoover is our Obama. He's now taking a bad situation and making it worse. He's making sure that the past setup of Bush, Bush did all he did to set him up. The executive orders, these dictatorship powers, National Continuity Act, and all these different things, the wiretapping and all of that, was not for Bush. Everybody was thinking that Bush is going to attack Iran, and that these are powers that crazy powers that he's establishing and signing into law through all these crazy executive orders for himself. Well, no. Again, they have planned this out very carefully, and these powers have been set in place for Obama to execute. These are for him, and he's the one that's going to usher in the New World Order. And there's a number of other videos that I'm going to upload up on here to begin to show you actual media coverage of people saying that they want this, and a lot more information. But we're repeating that. We're also repeating, let's see, I had World War II on there, and I had a point on there, but I lost it. So basically, what I'm urging everybody that's seeing this is to prepare, because they're gonna do, or they're gonna try to do this. I don't know if they'll succeed or not, but they're still going to make their actions. They're still going to do what they're doing right now to bring us closer and closer to the establishment of this New World Order. So you need to prepare yourself to stock up on food, so that once hyperinflation hits, which is now, I used to say, maybe we can get out of this mess. Maybe there's a way out. Maybe we can fix this. Maybe we can fix the economy and take us back to where we're at. But after, even after the November crash. But now that I see Obama's policies and what he's doing, and now his new calls for spending more, and there's going to be maybe like 3 more bailouts. They're not backing down, and You just need to protect yourself, because there's no way that we can really fix this now because of where they're headed, what they're talking about, and what they're doing. So you need to protect yourself and your family and those that you care about, in terms of, educate yourself, understand what's going on, understand what you have to basically be 3 to 5 steps ahead of them, because that's where they are at. They already know how everything's going to unfold, and you just need to prepare, and basically stock up on food. I'm not sure what kinds of food, actually, and if anyone does, then feel free to send me a message, post it on a comment. I hope that you subscribe to my channel, or whatever it's called on here, and send me information. I'll be more than happy to discuss this with you. This is we're all in this together. I'm not sure what kind of food we should buy in a time like this, because I've never really lived through a Great Depression. So there is information out there. I haven't researched it yet, but there is certain types of food that you should buy. I think canned foods, rice, cookers that you can use with no electricity. I even read, I forgot what it was. But in any case, that's something else that we need to be looking at is surviving. Preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. Kind of like a hurricane. You prepare, you hope for the best, and prepare for the worst. We need to do that now, because if you don't do that now, then 6 to 9 months from now, you will regret, and you will be suffering. You're going to be in a spot where I don't even want to think about how the current state of affairs, or the state of affairs then, will be. I don't want to be in a breadline, and I don't want to be a slave to the government and hope that they will give me food once the entire economy crashes. Because it will crash. This is what's happening now. So one of the important things to do is to research, and to get as much information as possible and understand it. And it's very important that in your researching, that not only you keep an open mind, but you understand that there's a lot of propaganda out there to make it sound crazy, or to misinform, or to lead you away from the truth, or whatever the case. They have aggressively put out a lot of misinformation out there, aggressively, and you really have to trust yourself, think this out, and not go crazy. Remain calm. You want to understand this. You don't want to sabotage that process, but you need to be careful of what you read, because there's a lot of information out there that makes it sound crazy. There's half-truths and half-lies. Like, for example, Alex Jones, he says a lot of good things, but then he says some things which I question. Like the Bohemian Grove, of him sneaking in so easily. Maybe he's an agent of, misinformation, say half-truths, half-lies, debunk the whole thing, So just be careful when you're doing your research and how you present this to people. You need to make sure that you're covered, you understand what's going on, and that you can present it to people, because people won't be really that welcoming of this kind of information. I told a coworker of mine, what's unfolding and where the stock market is going to be, and what he needs to do in terms of stocking up food and ammo, and for protection. And he paused, and then after he said, through instant messaging, I know you've been right, and this will probably all happen, but I could I could do without your doom and gloom, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. And I understand that, it's a bad situation, but ignoring the fact is not going to make it go away. It's going to allow it to happen. So as bad as it is, as much as the truth hurts, and as much as we want it to just go away, it won't if you ignore it. It won't, and there's nothing that I can really bet on that with you or with anyone that reads this, because soon there may not be anything with the dollar crashing or whatever. I asked a friend that please stock up on food, a close friend of mine, and I was even going to tell him that I'll guarantee you, if this doesn't happen, that I'll pay you the food back. But it's like, but wait, how will I do that if the dollar crashes? It won't be worth anything. But I urged him, please, just stock up on food and hope for the best. If anything happens, you can just eat it down the road. I'm gonna start the next video.